Now, excuse the wardrobe change, it is hot as hell here in Bali, and this is why I actually like shooting things here in my home office, because there's air conditioning and it's brilliant, and we're going to be super quick as well, because what we're going to do is we're going to be jumping in the pool. So let's go through the performance curve, because when you want to achieve something, there's two things that we need to be able to look at. There's your results on this axis, and then there's time. How long is it going to take for you to be able to get it? And most of the time, we kind of see things happen like this for you to be able to achieve it. And we break it down into three sections. We've got, and excuse my back, we've got your foundation. Then after that, we have your acceleration. And then we have multiplication. So what we need to be able to do, sorry girls, you're doing so good, is we want to be able to have a look. And most of the time, so many people get to this point here and they drop off because they've gone through this big chunk of time, they're working hard, they're grinding through it, but you haven't really seen much results. And that's okay, especially when you understand where it is that you really want to go all the way up here. And so really when we look at what's happening in these three sections, we've got a lot of start and stopping. You're trying to find out what's actually going to work, what is going to suit you. And that's where you're starting one thing and you stop and you have to do something else. And you're constantly trying to pivot to try and find what it is that you do. But once you know what it is that's working, we have this period where we can start to ramp up, and you're going to really ramp up to see results. And then once you can really double down on exactly what's going on, then we can accelerate all the way through to really where you want to be able to go. But this is where the two major pitfalls, the kind of bottlenecks that usually happen. This is where people kind of charge along, they slightly get here, and then they drop off down here. This is the problem where you really just break. Because you've worked hard, you haven't seen much, and you just break it and you stop. And the problem is, if that's happened, you actually lose belief. You lose belief on you being able to achieve what it is that you want. And that's not fun. Because the second period is you kind of work off and you try and pitter-patter across. You're not really putting the effort in. You're not doubling down on being able to know what works and ramping up. And what most people try and do is they're just coasting. And the problem is, if you do coast, you lose energy because you're not really seeing the results that you want to, and you're just kind of cruising, and cruising's not fun. This is where you really need to push through. And so really easy, we can look at it. If you're here right now, that's okay. You've got to go through this foundation piece to find out what works. Then you can really start to accelerate and ramp up your results by knowing what works, but continuing to do what is. Because what so many people fall short on is they're constantly trying to chase something new. They're constantly looking for a bright, shiny object, and they're not doubling down on what works. And the big problems here is if you go through and you just break off, you're going to lose belief in you being able to get there. And if you really coast along, you don't double down on what it is that you want, you're going to lose energy. And again, you're going to kind of like fall off back there. But what I want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to use the foundation period to find out what is going to work for you. I want you to use the acceleration period to be able to I want you to use the acceleration period for you to be able to ramp up and start to see the results in a much quicker, shorter time. And then I want you to be able to double down, and this is where we see that 10x period. This is where in a really short amount of time, you're going to be able to get the results. And let's use the analogy, an example of your business. In the business, you're trying to find out what are you selling and how are you selling it. You're trying to find that right message for you to get to your market to see them see you as the solution to the problems that they have. And then once you know what and how to sell, then you can try and find the best way for you to get that message across. And by actually multiplying that message, you can start seeing better results, and then you can find all the way up there. And this is where we need to just bring it on back down and understand that you don't need to just have these goals of these numbers that you want to be able to get to. You can feel better about yourself if you've worked hard and you haven't seen the results that you really wanted to up here because you're just going through these phases that you need to. And this is where to take these steps through, for you not to lose belief, for you not to lose energy, you need to focus on what is going to actually get the day by day results, and that is the behaviors for you to focus on. So I want you to forget about setting goals that are going to be these numbers for you to get to. I want you to focus on loving the process. I want you to focus on what it is that you need to do day in, day out, that is simple, that you can enjoy, that is going to get you to where you want to go. Now it's time for us to go jump in the pool because we're looking a little hot and bothered, and that's perfectly fine. The girls have done great, you've done great, and this is where I want to hear from you. So any questions when it comes to this, make sure you comment below, and if you've liked this video, please do click like and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the episodes coming up as well. And as always, thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the next episode. This is where I want to make sure that you get the most out of being here, and I want to hear from you. So if you've enjoyed this episode, click like and make sure I can send you the new episodes each and every week. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, I really want to make sure that I'm giving you exactly what you need. So comment below. I want to know what you're going to take away from this episode. And the best conversations after every episode always happen in the Breaking Success Tribe. I'll pop a link below for you to join the free group so you get access to the guides, the live streams. I'm in there answering your questions personally each and every day, plus you get all the episodes as well. So thank you so much for being here and joining us. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.